Hi, I'm Rob from Kimpex, and I'm here today to talk to you about the most important part of your motorcycle, which is your tires. So the only thing touching the ground between you and your motorcycle is the tire itself, and there's only a very small contact patch that is doing so. So it is responsible for keeping you on the road in all conditions. So a pretty important thing to think about for your motorcycle. So Mitas is a tire brand that has been making tires for a very long time, and they've been making tires for all kinds of different disciplines, everything from agriculture to cycling to motorcycling. And today, of course, we're going to be talking about motorcycle tires specifically. Within motorcycle tires, they have a tire for every type of bike that exists. So if you go onto kimpex.com, put in your bike in the bike finder, and you will see what they have for your bike. But today, we're going to be talking specifically about the Mitas Terra Force-R, which you see in front of me. This is a tire of choice that I chose for my latest trip. I was out for a week, and this was the tire that I picked for that adventure. So when it comes to tires, specifically adventure tires, the thing that you have to think about is percentages. What percentage of your riding is going to be on-road versus off-road? So my latest trip, I knew that I would be on the pavement for about 90% of the time, and maybe 10% I would be on dirt roads, gravel roads, and trails. So I picked this tire based on a graph on mitas.com, which shows you that this tire was made for 90-10. So they have everything from 90-10, 70-30, 60-40, 50-50. What's important is that you realistically choose what's going to be right for your ride. So in front of me we have the Mitas Terra Force-R. As I said, it's a 90-10 tire, so 90% on-road, 10% off-road. And some of the distinguishing features of this tire is that it is a dual compound tire. This is something you see in the higher end level of tires. Why would you have a dual compound tire? Well, for the simple reasons that when you're rolling on a motorcycle tire, the contact patch is quite small. So if you have your contact patch here in the center like this is the area that's going to wear down faster. But ideally, you'd be able to have a soft compound throughout the entire tire. So what they did was they made the compound a little bit harder in the center, and on the sides, it's a softer compound. So this means that it will corner better and stick better, but also last longer. So it's a good compromise of the both. So your choice of percentage is extremely important. In this case, if you're riding 90% on pavement and 10% off-road, this tire is going to excel at both things. The last tire I was riding was a 50-50 tire because I was going on a trip that was going to have a lot of off-road. However, for thousands of kilometers after that trip, I had to endure a tire that was very knobby, handled pretty poorly, was extremely loud, had a lot of vibration, so after a while it kind of drove me nuts, and I was really looking forward to getting onto this tire that you see right here. So being realistic with what you're going to do with your tire is going to help you have the right tire for that condition. I would also like to mention that this tire is the OEM equipment on the 2021 KTM Super Adventure S. So that says something. That's a very powerful bike as well, and this is the tire that they chose to equip the bike with. So my experience on my trip with this tire was quite good. I actually had the ability to test it in most of the conditions people would be seeing. I had dry pavement, sunny days, cold, rainy, wet days, gravel roads, dirt roads, and even some trail. So on the road itself, the tire handled like a sport bike tire. Super confident, very sticky. Same in the rain. The way I test tires in the rain as well is that, I do emergency stops and see how grippy the tire actually is, and acceleration as well, to see if there's any real slip in the back. And in both those conditions, the tire was super good. What impressed me about this tire as well was when I was on gravel and dirt roads and I would give it throttle, I was surprised at how much feedback the bike gave me. I was surprised at how much grip it was giving in softer conditions for a tire that's only a 90-10. This tire compares a lot to other tires that I've used. Some of my favorite tires were the Michelin Aniki 2 and the Michelin Aniki 3. And this tire would be mostly similar to the Michelin Aniki 2 in its percentage. And I have to say that it worked just as well as those. So it's right in line with my favorite tires to ride on a daily basis. So on the road, in the dry, it was a great tire. In the wet, on the pavement, also a great tire. But I really got to test this tire when we had a mountain climb. And the mountain climb that we did wasn't really set up for motorcycles. It was more of an ATV hiking trail. And I was curious to see how these would do, and a little intimidated as well. These are big bikes. So it's kind of loose on that climb, very steep on the way up to the top. And surprisingly, it was fine. The bike had great grip going up and as well coming down. And at one point at the top of that mountain, there were some trails that we went through and we hit sections of mud. and this is the place where the front end felt a little slippery. So they do have their limits, of course, when you get into mud and sand, but to be honest with you, I find almost every tire has its limits in mud and sand until you hit something like a 50-50 that might give you more confidence. So it wasn't something that surprised me. I expected that to be slippier, and I took my time with it, and I was completely fine. So overall, the performance all around for my trip, this was the perfect choice. I'm very happy with this tire, and I think it might be a good choice for you as well. So as you see here, Mitas has made choosing the tire that's right for you very simple with this chart. Here they show the percentages of on-road versus off-road and the tire choice in that category. So if you realistically choose the percentage that you need, it's going to show you very clearly which one is right for you. Some of my riding buddies have been riding Mitas tires for years. This is my first try of them, and I gotta say that I am very happy. They remind me a lot of my favorite tire that I've ever had, so that's a good thing. So if you're interested in trying Mitas tires, go to Kimpex.com and use the search by ride feature. That'll show you exactly what tires are available from Mitas for your bike. Thanks again, ride safe, and we will see you soon.